a video game movie that was actually better than the game helps if it's based on a true story. Welcome back, guys, gals, and other pals, to another edition of The Final Credits. Short one tonight, but I'm sure Johnny's here with us in spirit. But
he's gonna phone it in.
Oh, he did phone it in.
He's gonna phone it in. Don't worry.
Oh, thank God. All right, fine. Well, I'm sure we'll be fine without him for at least a little bit. I hope. But until then, we're taking a look at Gran Turismo. We saw it a couple of days ago, and guys, from our initial reactions, I'm sticking with what I said in that this is probably tied with my favorite racing movie. Like, it was that good. Shockingly good, based off of a video game. I know, but still. The acting was very well done. The fact that it's based on a true story also helped incredibly, and the little moments of the CGI that we got that actually made it feel like we were in the actual video game helped significantly. Guys, what do you think about this? Am I right? Am I wrong?
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you this much. Mm-hmm. I went going in to see this movie as it's going to be okay. And you know what? Realistically, this movie was freaking amazing.
Right.
Because I never would have thought that a racing movie would be so, I don't know, interesting. The way they did it, the way, you know, the VFX, everything in this movie I felt was top notch. I don't know if it's Oscar worthy, but yes, it was a very entertaining film.
Yeah.
I also stand by what I said in the shorts. One of the best films of the year. It's going to be in the top 10 by the end of 2023. It's crazy to think I wasn't initially on board when we watched the initial trailer, the teaser trailer. But as we got closer and we saw more longer trailers, my excitement got higher. And with our recent batch of movies, I just walked out of them thinking this was okay, but I was hyped to see this, and it was not just very good. It was very good, better. I knew it was going to be good, but it was great. I enjoyed it from beginning to end.
All right, very good, very good. Something else that really did stick out to me, especially with this. Granted, yes, whenever you have like a movie of this magnitude or this type, you have to have some really good stunt crews going on in this movie. And one of the things that you find out at the end of the credits is that the person that this entire movie was based off of, his story, was actually the stunt driver for the actor, which I thought was incredibly cool with this. It was a great, I guess, inside cameo that no one really saw coming. Which,
yeah, I don't think anybody knew that was going to happen at all. But it was cool that he did that, though.
Yeah,
that was so mind blowing, and he was essentially playing himself in a way. You know, it wasn't the real life person on camera, right, but the incredible stunts, the incredible cam work that the stunt drivers, you know, with the actors obviously portraying what was going on in the story was amazing. Like, they did such a good job with the camera work. Like, you felt like you were in the actual car, and we were watching it from a gamer's perspective. You could definitely speak more on that with the added graphics to give it the Gran Turismo feel, like to make it feel like the kid was still playing the game, but he was in the real deal with his life on the line. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But throw it back to you, Grim.
Okay. Well, thanks for that spotlight. It's kind of bright here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so going back to essentially the story, basically a kid who hangs out in an arcade and does nothing but play video games for a majority of his adult life. It's a dark mirror I'm looking into right now. Basically is essentially drafted to possibly be part of Team Nissan. I'm sorry, Nissan. And is chosen to be a real life race car driver because he does extremely well on a racing simulator. What could go wrong? So many things, but thankfully nothing really did go wrong, with the exception of one itty bitty car crash. But everything turned out okay, because that was actually like one of the things about this movie that I was very much just like, it was talked about for a second. Something terrible happened in the movie and was looked at for a second. Everyone cried, and then we forgot about it 5 minutes later. And then it's the big race at the end of the movie. Let's win. Yeah. And I'm like, something horrific just happened. Should we focus on that for a hot second? Just a little bit?
Well, the movie was already what, like 2 hours long? How much longer?
No, I'm not talking about runtime. I'm not talking about that.
I'm
talking about at a storytelling and pacing level.
Right, but was it really needed to be explained? Like, he felt bad. It is what it is.
Was it needed to be put into the story anyway?
Well, yes, because that's what stopped him from continuing on racing.
I mean, you could have just said, "Hey, you've been messing up ever since you got your license. You need to win the next one, or else we're going to pull your contract, because contracts are nothing but paper, guys."
But see, drama sells, my friend. So they need to up the drama level a bit.
Yes, but you also don't need to just glance over it like once. Oh, there's drama here. Okay, it's present. Let's move on. You have to make it seem like it's actually a thing.
I don't know. I disagree on you on that. I don't think it was glossed over. I think they kind of explained it. He kind of, there was a good 20 minutes where he got over it, and then he's like, okay, back to racing again.
It was a hell of a curveball they threw at us, that they included that tragic event, and the real life driver did give the movie permission to use it, which was surprising to read. But I also have to disagree with you that they did spend a decent chunk of time. Like, this is his down point. He took sadly took somebody else's life that was watching the race, almost died himself, how the car flipped over and landed in the audience, and, questioning if he should ever drive again in these races, and move on with his life because of the guilt. I think it's got enough focus, but I can see what you're saying, that, oh no, tragedy, I dealt with it, but I'm just going to jump back in the car anyway. So I can see both ends of the argument.
All right, I get it.
But you know what? I think this type of movie and game concept won't ever happen in real life with any other game. I don't see anybody saying, hey, we're going to take the best Call of Duty players and put them on the field and say, go to war.
Realistically,
that's not ever going to happen.
Because that's taking people's lives, and I understand. So let's tone it down for a second. The top-rated Madden player in the country will not get an NFL contract.
Yeah.
Straight up. You want to tone it down a little bit more? Fine. The top NBA 2K player will not get a contract just to play in the NBA. Absolutely
the top player in the game, the top player in the country playing the UFC game is not going to become a UFC champion. He's going to get knocked the fuck out in the cage.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I would pay money to see that. Because that sounds hilarious to me personally. But
now, here's an interesting question for you, Bo. It definitely is very much a video game inspired movie, but it's not the story from the game. And Graham, correct me if I'm wrong. There's no actual story mode in these games. It's a straight race. Yeah, it's a straight up racing game. So they use a story inspired by the racing game. So can we still count this as a video game movie, or more of a video game inspired movie?
It is a video game movie.
Yeah, without a doubt it is.
Yeah, because You could listen, if you decide to call it Ridge Racer, which was another phenomenal racing game, and say that like, oh, all this stuff happened and everything, guess what? It's still a video game movie. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. There was a Need for Speed movie that came out with Aaron Paul, and it was not the best. I'll be honest, it's a guilty pleasure movie for me personally. But at the end of the day, the only thing that was really included were the cars at the very end of the game, and that's about it. Everything else about it was not like pertinent to the actual video game. Right. Having said that, because it still had a bit of that at the end, it's still a video game movie.
Baby Driver was a better Need for Speed movie than the Need for Speed movie.
That is very much true.
If we could talk about the cast for a moment, excellent acting across the board. David Harbour as Jack, essentially Jen's mentor throughout this movie. Spectacular. Lando Bloom as the Nissan executive, who is
Nissan.
Who's the Nissan executive. He was very good in the role. Sleazeball at time because he's the marketer. Like, you sure you want to give this? Yeah, but you know, he played both sides. Like, he was in Jen's corner for a lot of it, but Jen kind of was working against him behind his back. But he was very good. And Grim, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I didn't realize it was her, but Ginger Spice herself, Jerry Hotwell, playing Jan's mother. I'm like, why does this woman look so familiar? And so I checked the cast after the movie.
It's funny because during the whole movie, we're saying, that's one of the Spice Girls. Went over Joe's head.
I tell you what, though, the first one to point out that it was Ginger Spice was, of course, our own Johnny 64. Speaking of which, Spade, you said he has some opinions on this movie. Let's
hold on. And Johnny 64.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't make it into the video today, recording at a different time. Just wanted to give my thoughts because Gran Turismo, I went into this thinking that it was going to be at least a half decent movie. The trailers got me pretty hyped. It seemed to be another strong video game adaptation movie to add on to the list of good ones we got on this year, like Mario Brothers and everything. I don't want to say I wasn't blown away, but this movie was pretty amazing. It was really entertaining, high octane, high energy. There was like so many exciting, scenes with all the races and everything. The effects that went into it, added to that. Me and the guys, we were definitely at the edge of our seats the entire time, and the story was really engaging too. I felt like really invested in the main character and the characters around him. Typical. I felt like it was. I think one of us or somebody mentioned that it seemed like it was like Rocky on wheels. Kind of, it's typical like redemption, not redemption story, but like a build-up story. A guy starts from the bottom, works his way up, gets himself to a level that he would have never imagined he would have been at. Of course, he has people who are supporting him, people who aren't supporting him, like his own dad. So there's that whole family conflict dynamic as well. But yeah, it's definitely a movie that I think deserves to be at least seen at the same level as Oppenheimer or Barbie. So I would like to call this trifecta Barbenheimer Rismo. So yeah, I mean, people might not agree with that, but I felt like just as hyped for this movie coming out of the theater as I did for Barbie and especially Oppenheimer, of course. So yeah, definitely gets a thumbs up for me. You guys, people watching, if you don't have anything to watch this weekend, but you're looking for a movie to sit in on, this is definitely the thing to see this the next couple weeks at least. So yeah, those are my takes. Back to you guys.
Oh, thanks, John, wherever you are in the world right now.
Sipping Mai Tais,
enjoying that sun on the beach. What I was gonna say is, like, to finish up, I guess I enjoy this movie because it takes place in modern times and really recent time, the 2010s. The music, the mention of social media, like mentioning Instagram and Twitter throughout. I know the story is 8 to 10 years old now, but it's still really recent. So it made it more relatable, and it's things in the recent world. So that's one of the things I also loved about this movie, and definitely see it. It's worth it. It was that good.
I'm with him.
All right. Very good from our own pancakes. But if I'm not mistaken, guys, that's all we really do have to say about Gran Turismo at this time. Please let us know down in the comments what you feel about it. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Put them down the doobly-doo, if you will. Do you like this movie? Do you not like it? Did it become first place in your hearts? Or was it dead last like how Pancakes is in Mario Kart? Let us know down below, please.
Oh, hey!
And until then, roll credits. We're out.
We're out.
Roll credits, we out.